So I have a Smith Corona Sterling. This is a 1961 and it's in Seafoam green. Woo! It's a pretty little thing. Couple things I do want to point out. This is not what the original typewriter, it doesn't look like this right here. I mean, it does. It has a plastic logo that sticks through. This kind of has that embossed look to it. It looks like they lost that plastic piece because what it is, it goes underneath, it sticks through the holes, and it gives that 3D, three-dimensional look to it. And so somebody has just put, I don't know, is that spackling in there or something? I don't know what it is, but that's not in the original typewriter. Just on this one. And then also the Seafoam green has a slightly brighter color. This one has, it looks like it's been sitting in the sun, so it's a little more dull, but it's still very nice looking. But if you are looking at other Smith Corona Sterlings and you're deciding between the Seafoam green and the Alpine blue, there's a couple other videos out there, I think, that show you the Seafoam green. And so it's very close to this, but not exactly. I'm rambling today, so sorry. Let's take a look at how to use one of these. This is 1961. So again, your carriage, your paper is going to go in right here against that, flat against that bar. But before you put it in, you're going to want to bring in your paper guide. This just helps keep your paper straight and consistent if you're using multiple pages. As you're typing away and you get to the end, you use your return handle. This is an all-manual typewriter, and you press that carriage back to the front, plus it advances you either 1, 2, or 3 lines, and you set it right here. And you may think, why would I want 2 or 3 lines in between each sentence? Well, if you're doing any editing, it makes it super handy to write your notes in there. Okay. And then the carriage release is right behind these handles. And so you just pull that in. Oh, you can hear the little bell. So the bell tells you when you get to the end of the margin. So the carriage will move only as far as you have your margins set. So I'm going to bring this in just a little bit further. And so now it's really short. The bell tells you when you get to the end of the margin. If you get to the end of your margin, the carriage is going to stop. You cannot go any further unless you hit margin release, which is right here. And now you can keep going, okay? Just go all the way back to the front. Up here is your paper holder. I'll keep that up for you. And, oh, there you go, I guess for cleaning if you need to get in there. Paper release is right here, so if you load it crooked, which I might, we'll check that out in a minute, it releases your paper. This releases your roller, your platen. So can you hear there's nothing? Now let's put it back on, and you can hear the clicks. Click, 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 click. So that's just in case maybe your lines got off a little bit, or you just need to readjust, then you release the platen right here, and make sure you reset it. All right? Okay, let's move the carriage all the way to the left. Open up the top. You'll see your escapement, which is where your keys are, and your ribbon. And you have a 2-tone black-red combo ribbon in here. This is a universal ribbon, which you can find regularly, and we have them on our shop all the time. And it's just super easy. You just plop it in there. There's a little metal piece that comes up. Make sure it just fits into one of these 4 holes. And then there's only 4 guide wires that you need to thread that in. Black is on top, red is on bottom. One thing you need to know, when you get to the end of your spool, the typewriter either may lock up, or the font's going to start looking weird, or the typing's going to feel weird. Always stop, check out your ribbon, and you may need to reverse the direction because there's lots of ink in that ribbon. And so when you get to the end of the spool, reverse the direction, and you do that right here. And you just click up or down. Okay? And you go back and forth till you've used up all that ink, and then you can replace it. Your color selector is over here on the right. So black is on the top, red is on the bottom. Let's go ahead and load some paper and take a look-see at how this types. That threaded super well. Okay, See there, despite my best efforts, that's a pretty crappy load job. So let's fix that. I bring that forward, straighten it out. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and type. So there's no number 1 on this typewriter, which is very common, and so you use your lowercase l. 1961. Whoops. Let me try that in. Here's the backspace. It's a sterling kind of day. I've had several sterlings today. Let's keep going. So this is one of my favorite body styles. Very typical mid-century modern. This is actually, 61 is late for this model. It started in the late 40s, all through the 50s, and then this body type starts to change here in the early 60s. Okay, all right, do you see my ribbon? It's really tight, it's pulling like that. And I noticed the last few characters felt kind of weird. So like I said, always check your ribbon. I can see it needs to be reversed. I'm gonna pop that. There we go, it released the tension immediately. So let's go ahead and keep typing. Actually, that ribbon probably needed to be reversed a little bit ago. That it was, as soon as I reversed it, the keys even released. It felt really good. Oh, where am I at? They're jumping over the lazy dog. Okay. So some people may think, well, didn't you put in a new ribbon, or is that an old ribbon? Yes, we always put brand new ribbons into our typewriters, but as you probably have noticed, when I'm doing my typing demo, I flip it around. When we're cleaning it, it gets flipped around. When we're packing it, it gets flipped around. In shipping, or taking it out after shipping, this can get switched back and forth. So it's always a new ribbon that we have in there for you. You just need to make sure that it may need to be reversed, not because it's old ribbon, just because this little guy got moved. So, and like I don't remember where it was, so hopefully that's the right way. Okay, let's try out our red. So this is a lovely typewriter. I don't recommend it for beginners. I mean, it could be, but I don't recommend it for younger typers. It is a little bit harder to type on. Their keys are a little bit more stiff. You have to press further down. So for those of you that have really tiny hands, or you're not really strong, you don't have really strong fingers, this isn't going to be the ideal typewriter for you. But for those of you that you're just looking for something to do your typewriter poetry, maybe you want to do short stories. See, I had it going the wrong direction. Letters, etc., etc. This would be a really nice typewriter to have. It would be cute in a she shed or man cave or your office, or college dorm. So there's two people I don't recommend it for. Younger typers, like I already said, and those of you wanting a typewriter for extensive writing. This one doesn't have the flow, and it's not because of this particular model, I always recommend a Smith Corona Sterling for extensive writers, but this particular machine, as a typing demo, is going to be better for your shorter, smaller writing projects versus like a book or a screenplay or an extensive writing project. I wouldn't recommend this for, but if you're writing a short article, letters, anything like that, then you're going to love this for that. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all have a great day.